This comes from Rep. Jim Jordan. They spied on President Trump. They spied on senators. Now, we just learned they spied on me. If they can do it to us, they can do it to you. And I'm sure they have done it to lots of us. So this is the grand jury subpoena attachment with regard to Verizon Communications. And it reads as follows: for any and all accounts associated with the following identifiers, and they've blacked out everything except for the area code 937, provide the following records from January 1st, 2020 to the present: subscriber information, the names, addresses, the call detail records, the length of services, the means and sources of payment for each service, telephone or instrument numbers, such as like the ESN ID, the MIN ID, the MAC address, IMSI, like just all the serial numbers with regard to mobile devices, records of session times and durations, and other subscriber numbers or identities. And the note says, in lieu of personal appearance, you may comply with this subpoena by providing the requested documents in electronic format to Brian Burnett, Senior Special Agent for the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of the Inspector General. If you choose to comply with the subpoena by producing the materials to a federal agent, please also review and execute the attached certification under Federal Rules of Evidence, 803, Section 6, and 902, Section 11. And the order reads, this matter having come before the court pursuant to an application under 18 U.S.C. 2705, Section B, requesting an order directing Verizon Wireless Provider, an electronic communication and remote computing service provider located in Bedminster, New Jersey, not to notify any other person of the existence of subpoena number, very long number, issued by the United States on behalf of a federal grand jury impaneled in the United States District Court for the District of Columbia, the subpoena. The court finds reasonable grounds to believe that such disclosure will result in flight from prosecution, destruction of or tampering with evidence, intimidation of potential witnesses, and serious jeopardy to the investigation. It is therefore ordered that pursuant to 18 U.S.C. Section 2705B, provider and its employees shall not disclose the existence of the subpoena to any other person except attorneys for provider for the purpose of receiving legal advice for a period of 1 year, commencing on the date of this order, unless the period of non-disclosure is later modified in court. So what? They're trying to suggest that Jim Jordan's a flight risk? I mean, that's what it sounds like in the order. Assuming that this is pertaining to him because Jim Jordan's talking about it. I don't see his name specifically mentioned on here, so I guess I'm just going to have to take his word for it. But, I mean, this is his official government profile. This is him posting on this about the Biden administration subpoenaing his phone records, effectively spying on him, or seizing his phone records, more like it. So anyway, that's going on. And this is also from Rep. Jim Jordan, posted 22 hours ago. He's on Sean Hannity, of course. So let's give this a listen.
We have major breaking news and new developments tonight as the Arctic frost scandal continues to unravel. Now, it turns out it wasn't just sitting U.S. senators and Republican operatives around the country and groups like Turning Point that were targeted. It was also Jim Jordan. Tonight, our team has exclusively reviewed documents obtained by Jim Jordan showing that in 2022, lawyers running the Arctic frost investigation had subpoenaed Verizon for Jim Jordan's complete phone records going all the way back to January of 2020 for an investigation that was supposed to be about January 6, 2021. That's not all. They also wanted his address, his payment information, and the unique identifiers of all of his devices. And to top it all off, the subpoena came with a court order of secrecy. Verizon was not allowed to tell anyone about the data requests because a court somehow determined that, quote, disclosure will result in flight from prosecution or witness intimidation. A Verizon spokesperson tells us they are working with the House and Senate on this issue and says, quote, we uncovered new information regarding Chairman Jordan. We shared it with him as soon as possible. We are committed to restoring trust through transparency. And just in case you forgot, Jim Jordan, not exactly some criminal mastermind that you got to worry about him fleeing to another country. No. He is and was during all of this a sitting member of the House of Representatives.
I had to do a second take. Like, what?
House
Flight for prosecution? Are you fucking
Committee.
insane?
He joins us right now. Well, I think I said to you, it's only a matter of time that your name's coming up. And
Of
mine
course.
probably right behind
this ain't
you,
gonna be the
because
last time either.
I guarantee you,
I wouldn't doubt.
my phone number and contacts were in the information they got. I want a lawsuit.
Yeah, well, Sean,
yeah.
we say this all the time, but I mean, the only thing
And the
we
Democrats
get
gonna
wrong
bash
when we
him
start
too, just
these
like the 8
investigations
senators.
is it's always worse than we thought. So think about this. We know they spied on President Trump. Then we learned it's senators and the Speaker of the House. And now we learned they were spying on me for 2.5 years. I mean,
What?
think about
2.5 years?
all the way back, as you said, to January of 2020. They gathered information that told them who I called, who called me, when we called each other, when the call took place, how long the call was, and where I was at when I made that call. They got your location
GPS.
as well. And
Yep.
they gathered that for 28
That's probably why they
over a
wanted the
time
serial
period of
numbers.
28 months. This is how ridiculous this is, and why we are doing everything to get to the bottom.
And what did they
You're
get out
right.
of it?
I bet there's a
Nothing.
bunch of other members of Congress, a bunch of other citizens like you,
Just another
all
big
over
middle
this
finger to
country that they
Republicans.
were looking into, because this is the epitome of the weaponization of government against the other party. President Trump, Republican, all the
Right.
senators, the Speaker of the House, Republican, and of course the top Republican on the Judiciary Committee. That's how ridiculous this whole thing is.
Did they get
So what should we be doing then? Should we just be fighting fire with fire, and the Trump administration should just start, getting a secret warrants and secret subpoenas to start subpoenaing every single Democrat squad member, all 98 of them who voted against that socialism resolution, which we'll get to later? Is that what we should start doing? And start doing all that crap in secret? Just playing from
your
one side to the
text?
other?
Because
I don't
I've
know.
had thousands of my
of course the answer is
personal,
no, but,
private
what are we gonna do?
text messages, released to the public.
Great question.
They didn't get it from me. They never got it from me. I don't save text messages. I don't have an iCloud, but they end up putting
You don't
it
save
on,
text messages.
putting it up there in hearings and in the newspapers.
I don't save them, but I don't delete
use
them.
it in criminal cases, of which I am not a party to. Now, do I deserve some degree of privacy? Do you deserve that? I think you do.
It's called the Bill of Rights. It's called the Fourth Amendment, for goodness sake. Of course you do.
Well, you're an elected
Our
official.
understanding of this subpoena is they got the time you sent the text, who you sent the text to, just like they would with the call.
Now, look, it's one thing as a government official. Everything's supposed to be cataloged. I can't remember who's in charge with cataloging all that, like which department in government, but everything's supposed to flow through a government entity when you have an official government account. I'm sure that also includes your cell phone, probably your office phone. It definitely includes your emails, because that's what got Hillary Clinton in hot water, because she was subverting that with those 33,000 emails. All of that was supposed to be captured on government servers, and obviously we know that she wasn't doing that because they had the private email server. So to some extent, like everything that Jim Jordan's doing as the capacity of an elected official, it's being cataloged in the government systems. But what exactly were they subpoenaing? It sounds like they were subpoenaing his private phone conversations, which he is allowed to have a personal life. So that's what it sounds like to me. That's probably what they were
They
subpoenaing.
did not get the contents of the text. But we know the January 6th committee got some context of text from you and from me and everyone else. So, but this subpoena was for when those texts were sent, not the actual contents of it. But what I want to know is who signed off on this ultimately? Did Chris Wray know about this? This is the Biden DOJ. Did Merrick Garland know about this? Because this subpoena was sent
of course they did.
in April of 2022. Did Lisa Monaco, the Deputy Attorney General, who signed off on this? This idea that you got one branch of government run by Democrats going after the legislative branch at the time run by Republicans.
They're going to spend 3 years chasing that answer.
That's how crazy this all is. So, look, we're going to keep gathering information. We're going to be ready for when we bring Jack Smith in for his deposition, because we're going to have a lot of questions for him.
Oh, yeah. And he's probably going to plead the fifth.
That
They will never get any answer.
disclosure would result in a flight, that you might flee the country, or that you might intimidate witnesses. Who made that determination? Because that
It's
is
just
the
being
exact
hyperbolic. It's
opposite
just
of the
them being
person I
fucking
know.
drama queens.
The same people who said we're going to take Scott Perry's phone. The same people who said we're going to surveil a member of Congress, Scott Perry, for a week. Find out where he works. Find out what kind of vehicle he drives. Get photos of his home, his car. I mean, those are the same people. It's this Wyndham guy that we referred yesterday to the Justice Department. He was the guy who signed off on that subpoena to get Scott Perry, a general in our Army, member of Congress for 14 years. It's that mindset that says anyone who's for President Trump is the enemy, and we're going after them. That's what they did. So people
This
say,
is
oh,
why
you
we need
guys
to
are- this is
downsize the government.
This
This
is
is
not retribution
ridiculous.
in any way. It's holding people accountable who did crazy, ridiculous things like Jack Smith, like
got
this
too many
Arctic Frost
people, too
investigation,
much money,
and
too
like
much
the
time on
Biden
their hands.
DOJ.
Too many resources.
Well, I'm sorry,
obviously.
Congressman, I really am, and I hope we get to the bottom of it. Why are they trying to take away a provision that would allow people like you and senators spied on illegally to sue the people involved?
Well, we passed legislation 2 days ago out of our committee that says you can't do these kind of gag orders. You can't have them for years and years. There's a higher threshold if you're going to issue these things. We're trying to push back on this in a big way. Maybe we need to tell these carriers, you can't do this at all. You can't. Maybe we need to look at that.
Yeah, you would think.
So this is, again, we have the thing called the Bill of Rights, the First Amendment, the Fourth Amendment. We should be respecting that. I don't think the way these guys did, I don't think it
Yeah,
does.
but what about the
So we're
settlement
looking at all
payments,
kinds of
dude?
legislation.
He's not going to answer
Chairman
that.
Jordan,
All right, he didn't answer that. I don't know. Maybe he doesn't really care one way or the other. I mean, I doubt that he's doing all this in the name of money. He's just doing it just to get to the bottom of what Democrats have been up to. And yeah, it's a big mess. And yeah, trying to set that precedent, I don't think that's something Democrats really want. But I think they're just either they're too stupid or they're too incompetent to really see that in the future. By setting a precedent like that, you know, that it's going to show up on the other side of the coin that you're going to now be spied on. And I'm sure that Democrats have a hell of a lot more dirt that could be dug up than Republicans. I mean, like that's just probably one of the most obvious statements I've ever said.
If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Check out The Swamp, Monday through Friday at 11 p.m. Eastern, with segments dropping on the daily. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.